Canada has long been known around the world as a safe, welcoming country for immigrants. For decades, people from every corner of the globe have chosen Canada as a place to start a new life, raise families, and build careers. Its immigration system has been praised as fair, reliable, and a model for economic growth. But now, that story is changing. The country is facing a crisis: high housing costs, public services under strain, and rising anger among citizens. The Canadian government is planning drastic changes that could alter the lives of millions of people. Starting in 2025, both permanent residents and temporary workers could see doors closing. Critics say this could be the biggest rollback of immigration in modern Canadian history. Supporters claim it is necessary to protect housing markets and public services. But what does it really mean for the people who already call Canada home, and for the country's economy? Let's explore the full story, step by step, in this 7-to-1 countdown. A new chapter in Canadian immigration policy is unfolding. Canada's story as a beacon for immigrants stretches back decades. Its cities grew, its economy flourished, and its universities became magnets for students worldwide. After the pandemic, the government made a bold move, welcoming over 500,000 newcomers in 1 year to fill jobs and jumpstart recovery. At first, the plan seemed perfect. Factories were staffed, hospitals had more nurses, and businesses found the workers they needed. But, the rapid influx began to show cracks. Housing prices shot up in cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Rental availability plummeted. Schools struggled to accommodate more students, and hospitals reached capacity. By 2024, polls revealed that over half of Canadians felt immigration was, out of control. The public mood had shifted dramatically. In response, the government unveiled a 3-year controlled reset. Its goals were to reduce permanent resident admissions, shrink the number of temporary workers, and cap international student arrivals. Migrant advocates immediately voiced concerns. Millions of people who had already invested in their new life, students, skilled workers, and families, might now find themselves without a clear path to stay permanently. The question became, is Canada protecting itself, or is it turning its back on the very people who built its modern economy? Permanent residents are those who are allowed to live, work, and eventually gain citizenship in Canada. They really form the backbone of Canada's long-term workforce. Before the reset, Canada aimed to welcome 500,000 permanent residents per year, which was honestly a record-setting number meant to fill labor shortages and drive economic growth. But under the new plan, this represents a 21% reduction in planned arrivals over 3 years. The government argues these cuts are needed to reduce pressure on housing and public services. Fewer newcomers, officials say, should mean more affordable homes, less crowded hospitals, and more space in schools. Critics, however, warn this approach could create new problems. Canada has one of the lowest birth rates in the developed world, and its population is aging. Cutting immigration could mean fewer workers in the long term, fewer innovators, and less economic growth. Thousands of skilled workers, temporary residents, and international students who hope to transition to permanent status might now face uncertainty. People who paid taxes, rented apartments, and contributed to local communities could see their dreams put on hold, or even taken away. The real question is, will this policy solve housing and service issues, or will it create a new crisis of lost talent and broken trust? Temporary residents face harsh cuts. These residents include foreign workers, international students, and visitors with limited stay permits. They often fill crucial gaps in sectors like healthcare, technology, agriculture, and hospitality. The government plans to reduce the temporary resident population from 7% of Canada's total population to just 5% by the end of 2026. On paper, it might seem small, but in reality, it could mean hundreds of thousands of people losing their status. For many, this is more than just a number. These are real people who have built homes, started businesses, and contributed to communities. Hospitals rely on nurses from overseas. Universities depend on students who pay international tuition fees. Farms, factories, and restaurants employ temporary workers to meet labor demands. Critics warn that treating these individuals as temporary placeholders could weaken critical sectors, harm communities, and push skilled labor out of the country. Supporters argue it is about sustainability, preventing overdependence on short-term workers. This tension raises a fundamental question. Can Canada maintain its economy and services while reducing temporary immigration? Or is the country risking a shortage of the very people it relies on most? Express Entry Overhaul. Canada's Express Entry system is a points-based program for skilled immigrants. Candidates earn points for skills, education, language ability, and job offers. Starting in 2025, the government eliminated bonus points for job offers. The official reason was to prevent fraud. Apparently, some employers were allegedly creating fake job offers to help immigrants score higher, which, really undermined the system's integrity. However, the effect on real people is, honestly, pretty significant. Thousands of students, skilled workers, and professionals already living in Canada could now fall below the required cutoff. People who once had a reliable pathway to permanent residency may now be shut out. Economists warn this could hurt sectors like technology and healthcare, which rely heavily on retaining skilled immigrants. Supporters claim it restores fairness, arguing that points should reflect merit, not just who can get a job sponsorship. But critics see it differently. Fewer immigrants may get the chance to stay, even as Canada struggles to fill crucial jobs. So, the temporary foreign worker program has, for quite a while, filled labour shortages in sectors like agriculture factories, food service, and other low-wage industries. But it also created some real vulnerabilities for workers who often faced low-pay, long hours and a constant fear of deportation. In 2025, Canada introduced some new rules. Permits for low-wage workers are now capped at just 1 year, down from 2. And there are stricter rules in regions with high unemployment. So employers in areas where jobless rates are above 6% might find it harder to hire foreign workers. These reforms are presented as a way to protect Canadian jobs. But honestly, for workers, it kind of creates a revolving door, offering little stability or real opportunity to transition to permanent residency. Industries that rely heavily on these workers, from farms to restaurants, may face shortages. Prices could rise and supply chains may be disrupted. Businesses warn that removing foreign labor too quickly risks undermining sectors Canadians often avoid. This raises a serious question. Are these reforms protecting Canadians, or are they creating a disposable workforce with no future? Stricter rules for international students. International students have long been a vital part of Canada's economy. They pay high tuition fees, support local businesses, and often become future permanent residents. So the government has introduced tighter rules. The Student Direct Stream, which used to fast-track students from countries like India, China, and the Philippines, has come to an end. And now, post-graduation work permits are a lot stricter. Things like your attendance, enrollment, and even minor infractions could actually trigger deportation. Even small mistakes, like working just a bit over the allowed hours, could lead to immediate removal. Students are really worried about losing their future in Canada, even after years of study and contribution. Supporters say these new rules help protect the integrity of the system and ease housing pressures, since international students often compete for rentals. But critics warn that this could actually damage Canada's ability to attract young, skilled migrants, which might hurt long-term economic growth. At the core of these changes is politics. Prime Minister Mark Carney admitted the government didn't get the balance right. Public opinion had shifted and political pressure mounted. Conservatives, led by Pierre Poilievre, promise no homes, no newcomers. They argue that immigration should be directly tied to housing construction. The economic stakes are massive. Reducing immigration may cool housing prices in the short term, but it also risks slowing gross domestic product growth, worsening labor shortages, and stalling innovation. So, Canada faces a real paradox here. On one hand, citizens are asking for relief from overcrowding, but on the other, businesses really need workers to keep the economy alive. Every side claims they're defending Canada's future, but honestly, there's just no consensus on what that future should actually look like. Here's the big question. Will these reforms actually save Canada's housing market? Or could they end up pushing out the very people who helped build the economy in the first place? Right now, millions of people are facing a lot of uncertainty. So, what do you think? Is Canada making the right choice? Or is this, a disaster just waiting to happen? Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. And, share and subscribe if you want more deep dives into the policies that are shaping our world. Honestly, the debate over Canada's future is just beginning, and your voice really matters. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Oh, and click the bell icon so you get notified about the next video. Thanks so much for staying with us, and see you in the next one.